Background, the teams are emerging at Tynecastle, so time now to cross to your commentary team this afternoon, James McFadden and Liam McLeod.
Hello to you in the sunshine here in the capital. The 364th meeting between Rangers and Hearts. The 154th league meeting between them in Edinburgh. Hearts winning 40, Rangers going away with maximum points 77 times as they look to continue this recently well-documented run that they've got going against Hearts. The one thing I would say is that only once in the last 15 seasons have Hearts failed to take something from at least one meeting between the clubs. That was in 18-19 when Rangers won all 4 league meetings, but it is just 2 wins in their last 19 against the Glasgow side for the maroon half of Edinburgh. The teams are out in the pitch, the 2 captains, James Tavernier to the left of the halfway line, Craig Gordon to the right with the referee Stephen McLean. We're over in the Wheatfield stand side, right up at the back of it, under the TV cameras effectively. The main stand and the dugouts are over on that far side. And it's a big week for both these teams. Huge week actually. Rangers here at Tynecastle, then at Anfield on Tuesday night on Champions League business. Whereas Hearts here at home, 2 big home games for them. First against Rangers, a chance to go level on points with them, and depending on the scoreline, perhaps going above them. And then they welcome Fiorentina of Tuscany here on Thursday in Europa Conference League business. Big week for these 2, and it all starts here at Tynecastle Park. And what a day it is for it. Hearts are going to kick off. They're going to go left to right, maroon shirts, white shorts, maroon socks, shooting towards the Gorgie Road in the first half, with Rangers blue shirts, white shorts, white socks, shooting towards the school end, the Roseburn stand, which half of is occupied by Rangers supporters. It's always a sellout here. This is another one. As Hearts kick off, it's rolled back to Stephen Kingsley, who launches it forward as it comes bouncing off the head of Ben Davis and out for a Hearts throw-in. They've advanced in yards in the opening seconds of the game, up to about level with the Rangers' 18-yard line on this near side. Michael Smith over the throw, bowling it forward there to Humphreys, and it just bobbles back off him and goes behind for a Rangers goal kick. But it's a positive start by Hearts, and Robbie Neilson, he's playing with a very offensive formation against this Rangers team, and if they get the start to the game right, they could really give Rangers a difficult afternoon here, James.
Yeah, and you can see their intent very early. They want to go and put Rangers under pressure from restarts. Interestingly, Humphreys is playing off the right and Mackay's playing in behind Shanklin as they go in the attack here.
Alan Forrest looking to get it from Shanklin, who flicked to the outside of the boot, comes off Tavernier. He can't get the ball under control and it wriggles out for a throw-in over on the far side for Hearts. Again, it's level with 18, this time over on the main stand side, and Alex Cochrane's over it. Bowls it into the box for Shanklin, who's in a good start to life at Hearts, but Goldson wins it back off them and clears. It's picked up by Lewis Neilson, the youngster in the halfway line, with his Scotland under-21 debut in that recent break, when the international break's just finished, as Shanklin picks it up just on this near side of the box, looking for support. He eventually gets it, and there's a chance here perhaps for the ball to be put into the middle. Instead it's played out to the middle of the park, then back out to Smith, who crosses in. Chance here on the turn for Shanklin. His effort's blocked. There's an appeal for a penalty by the Hearts supporters. Rangers get it away. What a good bright start this has been from the home team though. Not even 2 minutes in, the fans already with them.
That's brilliant. You can see they're trying to use the physicality of Humphreys up against Barisic in the air, but when they win it back, that ball's flashed into the box, and it comes to the feet of Lawrence Shanklin, and very similar to the goal last week for Alan Forrest, where he makes a run across Shanklin. This time Devlin makes a run just outside him, and I think Lawrence Shanklin has to play it to him to get the shot away. He doesn't. He tries to turn and get the shot in the half turn that's blocked, but early intent from Hearts to put Rangers under pressure.
They've got Humphreys on the right-hand side, Forrest on the left, and Mackay in behind Shanklin as Ben Davis clears, looking for Matondo. Rangers looking to get some feel of the ball here in these early minutes. It's Jack there to Tavernier, to Lundstrom, and back out to the right-hand side for Tavernier, who gets it now from Jack, crosses it in, it's flicked away up high into the air by Kingsley, drops down onto the head of Lundstrom. A scorer against Hearts last season. A bouncing ball comes off Cochrane, and now it's the Rangers supporters claiming that's a handball in the box. The linesman in the far side's David McGee. He's got a better view of that than the ref, and it's a corner only.
I have to say, it looked like it come off his arm. I don't know whether it was the t-shirt line. What I will say is Colak's on his left-hand side, he's got Matondo on his right, he's trying to hold both of them off. So the assistant referee must have deemed that to be in a natural position for the situation he was in.
Tavernier out swinging corner into the box, comes off Davis, flicks for goal, and goes behind for another corner of a Hearts defender on the 6-yard line. Rangers first attacking moment of the match, just over 3 minutes in. Tavernier's got a second chance. Actually, wasn't a very good corner by James Tavernier's standards just a moment ago. He's got a second opportunity here to put it into the area. Drives it in, headed behind by Shanklin, and Rangers have a third successive corner in the space of the last 30 seconds.
That's a much more dangerous ball. That drops just short of the near post, but makes Lawrence Shanklin have to defend it. Lundstrom trying to get across the front of him.
Third time of asking, in from Tavernier, it's flicked towards goal, it's cleared off the line just about there, it's squirmed towards Craig Gordon, and it's booted away by Hearts. It might even have been Shanklin who was there on the back post. Someone's got it away. Bit of a scramble though, it's nothing each, 4 in.
He had to wait till the very last second there, Craig Gordon, to clear that, because it's creeping towards that back post. There's loads of bodies in front, he's maybe expecting it to be cleared, so he has to stand his ground and wait till the very end, and he palms it clear.
It's up towards our field, first time for Colak. We're going to work it to Kent. Smith gets ahead onto it, flags up on the far side. Hearts 0, Rangers 0. Yeah, as I mentioned there, James, he'd Lawrence Shanklin in his way as well. It was a very dodgy moment for the Hearts defence, but they've survived it.
Yeah, it looked like one of the defenders in front of him could and probably should have cleared it, so he has to wait till the very last second. But just on this game, I was driving through, really looking forward to it, thinking how exciting it would be, and I know we're only 4 or 5 minutes in, but what a start. It's been absolutely frantic.
Almost 5 minutes in, it's nothing each, and it's now with Alan McGregor, the Rangers keeper. Brian McLaughlin's our pitch side reporter. I'm not sure if he's got a monitor. Are we going to Brian for that? Yes, we are, Brian.
Yeah, I've had a look at both of them. Neither of them, I would say, were penalty kicks. Certainly the Cochrane one appeared to come off the top of his shoulder, certainly well above the t-shirt line.
There's Ryan Kent, left foot cross ball into the box. The header's in! Rangers score! Antonio Colak, 6 yards out, bullets it in off the post, and the Rangers supporters celebrate. Hearts are absolutely stunned after that. One ball in from Kent. The Rangers fans have been wanting him to do that much more often, and the man of the moment scores again. Antonio Colak hits double figures in his first season at Rangers at the start of October. In the 6th minute, Hearts 0, Rangers 1.
And what a ball it is from Ryan Kent. The ball's worked out to the left-hand side. He just takes a touch and delivers it into an area for Colak, just in line with the back post. It looks like he's got acres of space and time to go and pick his spot out. He gets a good contact on it beyond Craig Gordon into that far post, into the side netting, and that's what he does. You put the ball in the box, he gets on the end of it. He is a goal threat. It's a fantastic start from Rangers. Again, the cross from Kent is magnificent, and it's a fantastic header from Antonio Colak.
Here come Hearts immediately from the centre, but they couldn't quite get it through to Humphreys, and it's now in the gloves of Alan McGregor. But that was more like it from Ryan Kent. He's not been doing that nearly often enough. That's his quality. That's the quality that everyone knows he has. And Goldson's pinged it out to him here again. He's kept it in play, but only for Michael Smith. But it's a loose ball by the veteran Northern Irishman as he plays it back to Barisic.
It is the quality of Kent, because we know he can deliver equally as good with either foot. It's the speed. He gets the ball, takes a touch, head up, puts it into an area for Colak. We've seen Colak this season get the ball in the box, it comes alive, puts it into an area and allows him to go and attack it, and Rangers get the reward for it.
Foul goes against Devlin, and a challenge on the Rangers goal scorer in the centre circle inside his own half, as Goldson picks up and plays it to Tavernier. And now it's back with Connor Goldson. I'd say the two sets of players wearing black armbands, that is in tribute to Chris Robinson, former head of Hearts here, who passed away recently. And both sets of players wearing black armbands. Hearts' first home game since his passing, as the home team prepared to take a throw here. It's a bit of a stunner for them. 7.5 minutes in, they began the game well, used the ball well in the opening few few minutes, but Rangers got into their groove, had those few corner kicks over on the far side, and from open play, Kent found the head of Colak. And it's Rangers who have the lead. And Craig Gordon has a free kick for the home team down on this near side. What does this do for Robbie Nielsen's plan of action for this match?
I think they would have, made a plan for going a goal behind. So I think it's just try and get some sort of control in the game. Don't panic and concede another goal, because
it's a poor ball by Goldson right the edge of his own penalty area, and he has to put it behind for the corner. Really loose by Connor Goldson. Not for the first time this season, it has to be said. Hearts corner, they're first.
And that's why they have to keep going, because they can force errors.
Apologies if you're offended by any language the pitch side mics are picking up incidentally. Forrest takes a short corner to Cochrane, gets it back. Forrest lashes it into the box, flicked away by Colak, only as far as Humphreys on the turn at the edge of the penalty area. Two Rangers players in front of him. It's out wide left, the cross comes in, but it's poor from Kiermaier-Zoglu. And Matondo will try and get onto it, one back brilliantly by Cammy Devlin. That's what he's all about. There's a lovely 180-degree spin as well. Finds Forrest. Back to the Aussie Devlin. He played in one of Australia's friendlies against New Zealand last week, as Barry Mackay fails to get back onto it, former Rangers player, and Ryan Jack gets there and rolls it back to McGregor as Shanklin tries to put pressure on the Rangers goalkeeper. Long ball flicked on by Colak, but Lewis Nielsen will pick up and roll it back to his goalkeeper. 9.5 minutes played, Hearts 0, Rangers 1.
That's brilliant from Cammy Devlin. It looked like he was in trouble. First of all, he reads it very well, then it looks like he's going to go back, turns out. Barry Mackay wriggles between a few as well, and he gets a good response from the Hearts fans.
Great ball as well out to Humphreys, big switch out left to right. Humphreys attacking the Rangers box onto the left foot, shoots, and McGregor holds on. Low, good effort though, really good run. Positive play by Stephen Humphreys, and he forces the save from Alan McGregor. 10 in, 1-0 Rangers.
It's really good play from Humphreys. Cuts inside in that left foot, and it looked like he was just going to shape it to the far post. Loads of space in that side. He goes for power at the near post. Alan McGregor reads it well and gets a hold of it, but it's a good response from Hearts. You asked me a minute ago, how does it disrupt the plans of Robbie Nielsen? It doesn't, because I'm sure they would have been aware that at some point they could go behind. It's important that they stick to their game plan, that they don't lose their heads, and that's exactly what they've done. The response has been excellent.
Yep, they're on the ball with Forrest. Kiermaier-Zoglu picks up back to Forrest. Couldn't quite dig it out to the left there for Mackay, and Rangers clear. Picked up by Kingsley. Kingsley's in trouble here. Colak's nicked it off him just to the right of the centre circle, and Rangers are coming away again. Chance here for Jack, slips it through. It's not the best ball for Arfield. Gordon comes out to meet him. Arfield pulls it away from him and rolls it back to the edge of the area for Jack, who finds Kent, who finds Arfield. Left-hand side of the box, level with the penalty spot. Back to Kent, overlap to Barisic, swings it in, and it's flicked away from the 6-yard line and picked up well by Barry Mackay, who would have been brought down by Arfield, so the ref's going to bring it back for a foul, even though Mackay stayed in his feet. Stephen McLean's going to speak to Scott Arfield. It stays Hearts 0, Rangers 1 on 11.5 minutes, but a better ball by Ryan Jack for Scott Arfield, and it's potentially 2-0.
Yeah, and I think Scott Arfield's incredibly fortunate not to have got a yellow card there. The force of the attempted challenge on Barry Mackay, he's trying to stop the attack, but he's in with a lot of force. I think he's extremely fortunate not to get a yellow card there. But you're right, when Ryan Jack drives through the middle, Ryan Kent had made a run to his right hand side. The space did open up for Arfield, but you know that Kent's got more pace. I think the ball was to go to Ryan Kent on the other side, open the foot up and put it to the right hand side, and he overhits the pass to Arfield.
That's brilliant play there by Orestes Kiermaier-Zoglu, who was under pressure facing his own goal. He managed to get between ball and man, and he's brought down, and Hearts have a free kick midway inside their own half as it's moved forward to Shanklin on the halfway line. He finds Forrest. He's had it nicked off him by Matondo though, and now it's Tavernier down the line for Matondo. Just his third league start for Rangers. The Welshman signed in the summer, and he's on the ball here, driving down the right hand side touchline. Kiermaier-Zoglu's over there making the challenge, and it goes out of play for a Hearts ball. Matondo's on the deck and he's rolling around. He's come back onto the field of play as well, which is what's causing the fury amongst the Hearts supporters in the 13th minute. Their team 1-0 down.
Yeah, he just get crowded out. Cochrane does really well, but then Cammy Devlin comes in. I think he lands on top of Matondo, and then he just loves to get involved, doesn't he, Cammy Devlin? He's the type of player you need in these type of games because he gets so fired up. He shows that he's willing to fight and scrap for everything, and he's just a determined character. And Matondo just takes a little bit off him there, but the referee sees it as no foul, and I agree with him.
Rangers have only won one of their last 5 away games. That was in Eindhoven against PSV in the decisive leg of their Champions League playoff. Haven't won either of their last 2 away games, including in this city when they were held to a draw by Hibernian. Finished that game with 9 men. They're looking to improve the away form. If they're going to win the title, it has to improve. As John Lundstrom picks up Hearts without a win in their last couple of home games as well. First time that's happened since December 2019, in fact, as Ben Davies strides forward into the Hearts half, runs into Devlin, and the ball's given away, and it's Nielsen, and then Humphreys is tripped by Ben Davies, and he's going to be the first player yellow carded this afternoon. Almost 14 minutes in, Hearts 0, Rangers 1.
It makes the decision not to put Scott Arfield all the more baffling, because it's very similar. I know there's maybe 20 yards of difference, but the force Arfield goes through in, he's trying to take Barry Mackay out. You know, Davis overruns it, he tries to get back. It's a lunge to stop the attack again. He brandishes a yellow card. But, you know, you're looking for consistency in these decisions, and unfortunately, you know, for Hearts there is none. Fortunately for Rangers, they get away with the Arfield one.
Good ball won by Humphreys there on this near side. He headed it back in field, and eventually it's out for a Hearts throw-in off a Rangers defender, and Michael Smith's going to take level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box on this near side. Smith has the ball in his hands, bowls it down towards the corner flag for Forrest, up against Goldson, and he wins another throw-in here. This time it's a bit level with the 6-yard line as Hearts do some attacking, looking to find an equaliser. 15 minutes in, and it's Michael Smith waiting to take most of the pitch, bathed in Edinburgh sunshine here. Smith launches the ball, long throw into the box. A comfortable, unchallenged header away by Davis, though. Comes off Arfield. Hubert Soglu back towards the edge of the D. Can't find Shankland. Arfield tries to clear. It was blocked by Devlin, though, and it goes out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. But the Hearts fans clearly appreciative of the effort of Cammy Devlin.
Oh, no wonder. He doesn't stop. He'll stand up to anyone. And his energy, you know, as I said, he's a guy that you need in games like this, because he seems to be everywhere, whether it's going in support of the striker, going beyond the striker, flying into tackles, putting pressure on, running back and helping out. There's no wonder they appreciate him. But again, Hearts have responded really well, and when they win that ball back there, you can see Keogh, he's telling his teammates, he's pushing them forward. We hold our ground, we squeeze them, we don't let them out, and they've managed to win the ball back again.
With Humphreys on this near side, moving towards the Rangers box, he does again onto the left foot, he shoots and it's blocked again, and out for a Hearts throw-in. As James was saying, it has been a good response by Hearts, but they could have been 2-0 down just a couple of minutes ago. They need to watch what they're doing at the back, because they can ill afford to concede another goal. But it's they who are doing the attacking right now, and it's Michael Smith over it, bowls it into the penalty area. It's with Shankland, lovely reverse back to Smith at the byline, first time cross, it's headed behind by Goldson for Hearts, next corner. Just about 16 and a half played. Hearts 0, Rangers 1.
That's brilliant again. Michael Smith makes a run just off the back of Ryan Kent, nice little reverse pass just inside Ryan Kent's right shoulder. And when he gets to that byline, he is trying to lift it to the back post. Shankland's trying to make his way into the 6-yard area. Connor Goldson reads it.
Cochrane takes left-footed into the penalty area. It's flicked away by John Lundstrom. It's with Shankland, who'll just let it trickle out for a corner on the opposite side this time. 17 minutes played now. Antonio Cholak's 10th goal on his 14th Rangers appearance. He's separating the teams right now. It's a great return from the big Croatian. Hearts corner, in it comes, and it's flicked away this time by Goldson on the 6-yard line. He was being fouled as well, says Stephen McLean. Rangers free kick, Rangers leading 1-0, 17 and a half minutes on the clock. But James, 10 goals in, well, this is his 14th match, as I say. That's one way to start your Rangers career, and it'll seem like a long time ago for the Rangers supporters. He was scoring goals to knock them out of Champions League qualifying.
Yeah, and he's a player that, you know, everybody can recognise that he needs service. You know, he doesn't get involved too much in the build-up play, and at times, you know, that he can be isolated. But if you give him service, he knows exactly where the net is, and you know the cross from Kent, early cross into an area for him to go and attack, is exactly what he needs. But you need to give him service, as is shown. You know, his goal record's really good. I suspect it will get better because he'll get more and more service.
Back heel from Humphreys for Smith. This Hearts attack again, level with the 6-yard line. They've got a throw in right down with the corner flag. I have to say, I like the look of Stephen Humphreys. What a good direct player he is. He looks so strong as well. He's going to be a serious weapon for Hearts this season.
Yeah, he is. He's big and he looks strong, looks like he can run. He's got really good feet as well. Once he got on that left foot, had a couple of shots, good power behind the shot, so I would expect him to be chipping in with the goals as the season progresses.
Another long throw by Smith, and it bounces back off the aforementioned Humphreys after it floated over Kent's head. Ryan Kent will be delighted to see that go behind for a goal kick to the visitors in the 19th minute, with Rangers protecting this lead given to them by Colak.
Yeah, it's a tough one, that one, for Humphreys, because Kent jumps and he must see it late, just bounces off his knee and out for a goal kick. But he looks like a very good signing for Hearts. He's done really well down that right hand side. As I said, he looks a goal threat.
And he's on loan from Wigan, began his career at Fulham. As Rangers pick up the ball in the midfield, and it's Jack Kiermatsoglu with the challenge, and it bounces out for a throw-in over there for Rangers. James Tavernier takes, just geeing his troops up, and it's going to be a throw-in about level with the edge of the centre circle over on that far side. Tavernier with it in front of Robbie Nielsen, the edge of his technical area. Here is Tavernier bounding forward, and it might break kindly for Arfield inside the box. Arfield takes it down, left foot, wide. What a chance! He's run about the penalty spot and he's just replaying it in his mind right now. What an opportunity to make it two. He's had a couple actually since Rangers got their goal. It stays at 1-0 in 20 minutes.
That's a huge chance. There is a massive gap for Scott Arfield to run into. I think Nielsen's over-covering Kingsley, and when the ball bounces into that area, I felt as though he could hit it first time. He doesn't, he takes a touch. Even then he's still got time to pick his spot out. It looks like he's just going to pass it into the side netting, and he passes it wide. But that would be the concern for Hearts, the gaps that they're leaving for Rangers to exploit, whether it's Kent running through. Scott Arfield has been the one that's exploited him. We know the strength that he has in running from those deep areas. He always seems to be in the right position. He always seems to recognise where the space is. Hearts need to tighten up, because that's a couple of opportunities, and it's two huge let-offs for them.
Yeah, it's a game they're actually playing pretty well in as well. To be 2-0 down, they would look as a travesty of justice, but just those little moments in defence, they're being caught out, and Rangers have another free kick midway inside Hearts territory, down on this near side, a few yards from the near side touchline. 21 minutes played, 1-0 Rangers. Barisic looks up at the Hearts penalty area. There's a line of players along the 18 round about the D, as Barisic waits to take with a left peg here. Swings it into the box, headed away by Humphreys. Here's Tavernier picking it up, looking to keep it going, recycling the ball. Bitondo on the far side, heavy touch, takes it straight to Kiermatsoglu, and now it's with Cochrane. Wasn't the best touch, but he's managed to keep it in play, and he's driving forward deep into the Rangers half. Then it comes to Mackay with a little dummy. He doesn't break to Shanklin, breaks to Goldson, and he finds Barisic. As we head towards the end of the first quarter of this Scottish Premiership match here at Tynecastle Park. Rangers in front thanks to Antonio Colak's goal on 6 minutes. Long one forward, Forrest giving chase. Barisic is there though. McGregor came, but Barisic decided with Forrest around him not to take any chances. He turns and boots it clear.
I think he had to. Alan McGregor was screaming for him to leave it, but I think Barisic has to take that touch there.
If in doubt. Here come Hearts, lovely ball. Forrest, Humphreys, right hand side of the box, pulls it back. There's nobody there though. Rangers get it away. Shanklin was too far forward and Forrest wasn't close enough. Here they come again. Been promising moments for Hearts in this first half, as Devlin works it to Mackay, who shifts it back to Nielsen just on the halfway line. Nielsen's low ball. Now it is with Alan Forrest getting it from Devlin. Forrest, who scored 3 in his last 2 games, driving down the left. and then eventually goes out for a Hearts throw-in off Lundstrom, and Alex Cochrane's over at level with the edge of the D. 23rd minute, Hearts 0, Rangers 1. If you're joining us here on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland, across all the ways and means of listening to the show, it's the resumption of the domestic game all the way through now until the Qatar World Cup finals in mid-November. As that goes out to play for a throw into Hearts, right down by the corner flag over there. The flag's gone up on this near side, and I think offside's been given in the end to, again, leave the Hearts supporters seething. Rangers lead 1-0.
Oh, it's bizarre. It's bizarre because the referee's looking for the decision to be made by the assistant referee, who's looking for the referee to make the decision, and they're waiting as if to say, right, you know, put your flag up and then we'll give the offside. But that's come from the referee, that has not come from the assistant, who eventually puts his flag up. Whether it is or not, you know, just a bit of a mess.
Brian over in the main stand with the monitor says it was the correct decision, so there you go. Free kick to Rangers to be taken by Alan McGregor, level with his own 6-yard line, right of his own box.
It's just how it looks though in the stadium, because he's waiting, they're both waiting for each other to make the decision. Assistant referee's got the flag, if it's offside, put your flag up.
It antagonises the fans, doesn't it?
And the ball's out of play, so he's not waiting for anything, just put your flag up.
Cochrane clears it off Matondo and out for a Hearts throw-in midway inside their own half over on the main stand side.
Just the chance that Humphreys has running down that right hand side. It's a great ball again in between, you know, Barisic and Davis. Humphreys gets there early, and Shanklin, I think he's offside initially, then he changes his run, he's trying to find space for Humphreys to pick him out. There's just too many Rangers bodies for him to get a clean ball into him. But it's promising again, they're managing to breach that back line, they're managing to get in good positions to put balls in the box, and they'll continue to do that. But you just wonder, the more and more they get, they're going to have to take one of them to try and, you know, keep that confidence going.
Rangers in possession, McGregor to Goldson as we approach the 25-minute mark. It's a long ball by Goldson with the right foot. Underneath it's Cochrane. First time ball into the midfield is controlled well by Mackay. Mackay gets it through the legs of Lundstrom, but he manages to react well. The Rangers midfielder Zoglu went down, no free kick. Rangers come forward, Arfield couldn't find Matondo. Might have been offside anyway. It's gone out for a throw-in over there for Hearts in any case.
I'll tell you what, Liam, when Rangers win the ball back, they break at speed. They're passing the ball forward much quicker than they have done up until this point this season, and that's why they're causing Hearts problems when they get the ball back, because Hearts are looking good, they're building up, they're getting at that Rangers backline, but as soon as they win it back, it's quick passes, looking to get it forward as quick as they can. Kent and Matondo are playing really high up, trying to exploit that, whether it's a diagonal or a straight ball through.
Oh, it's been given away by Hearts, edge of the box, then Cholak slips on the 18-yard line. He slaps the surface in frustration. Hearts get away with one there. Here comes Humphreys across halfway. Kent comes to meet him. Humphreys infield, finds Mackay. Mackay couldn't find Shanklin, and it's cleared by Barisic. Hearts will come again. No, it's Kingsley's ball forward, but the referee has blown his whistle, and I think the flag's gone up on this, over on the main stand side, and it's going to be a free kick for Hearts after Kingsley had given it away there anyway, so no advantage. 26 in. Rangers leading 1-0.
Yeah, offside. Liam Cholak come from an offside position to challenge Kingsley. And he's shouting at the ref because it's been taken in the Hearts half, which is the right decision because that's where he touched the ball. He's come from an offside position. He's made the contact in the Hearts half. Cholak can't quite believe that you can get an offside in your own half.
Humphreys back to Mackay. He's popped up in a pretty deep position there, and then there's a trip by Jack on Devlin, who's again up protesting and chuntering and barking at the referee. 27 in, Hearts 0, Rangers 1.
He must be a nightmare to play against, Devlin, because he will go strong in a challenge. He rats about, he doesn't give you time on the ball, and then when you get close to him, you know, he'll buy those fouls. It must be so frustrating because he's everywhere and he's got a lot of different things to his game. I think the biggest thing that Robbie Nielsen and Cameron Devlin have both spoke about is he needs to get more goals, he needs to be more of a goal threat, but everything else he brings to the team is absolutely magnificent.
Mackay's free kick clipped with the right foot to the left hand side of the box. What a ball by Kingsley, but it's just a bit too high for Shanklin. He can only head it well past the right hand post. It was a Fabulous first-time delivery there by Stephen Kingsley on the left-hand side of the Rangers box.
That's magnificent from Kingsley. I think it takes Shankland by surprise, and then he's trying to judge the flight of it. Diagonal to the back post, he hits it first time with the side foot, back across goal. Shankland made a good move to get himself clear at the back post, but I think he's just taken by surprise at how quick it comes to him, and then it's just a little bit above him and he can't quite judge it. But what a ball from Kingsley.
28 on the clock. It's Rangers on the ball and with a lead. Matondo to Jack, who gives it away. Tavernier wins it back off Forrest though. Strong challenge by the aforementioned Devlin on the far side. I think the free kick's been given for that. Maybe it is just a throw in, just a throw for Tavernier to take. I was going to say Devlin got a heck of a lot of the ball there as Matondo breaks down the far side. Sliding in is Keir Matsoglu, and he puts it out for a Rangers throw in, level with the Hearts 18-yard line over on that main stand side. James Tavernier is over there to take. A pretty bad-tempered encounter between the two in the first meeting at Tynecastle last season, which Rangers eventually won with 2 early goals from Morelos and Aribo. Ginelli was sent off with 10 to play, and there were loads of bookings, loads of controversial moments as Hearts pick up with Mackay as they attack, but it's Goldson's tackle, and then Arfield slides in on Devlin and gets it back off Cholak. Here's Arfield rolling it forward, looking for Kent. Well read by Smith. Wasn't the best ball though, and Gordon clears with the left peg out for a throw-in on this near side to the visitors, just a few yards inside the Hearts half.
But the speed that Rangers are breaking at is incredible. As soon as they win that ball back in midfield with Arfield, Kent's away, Matondo's away, and he makes a run, he peels away Kent and towards the centre, then makes that dart into the left channel, and it's just a poor execution again, but they look really dangerous on the counter, Rangers.
And it's Rangers with Goldson. He finds Lundstrom, who's popped up between the two centre-backs. Long ball, brilliant pass from Lundstrom out to Matondo, who picks up now. He can drive at Cochrane. Rabbi Matondo moves infield, slips it through brilliantly for Cholak. Goal! What a finish! What a goal for Rangers! Brilliantly worked down the right-hand side. Lundstrom, Matondo and Cholak, who fires home to score yet again. He's up to 11 for Rangers now, and he's given them a 2-goal advantage here at Tynecastle. Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
It's a brilliant goal, it really is. Matondo driving off that right-hand side in towards the centre, and Cholak just makes that run inside channel. It's a square ball, straight pass into his path, and what a cool finish into the side net and beyond Craig Gordon. Phenomenal goal, great movement from Cholak, great way to pass, makes his mind up for him, and what a finish.
Well, no wonder Alfredo Morelos can't get into this starting 11. Cholak scores again, and Hearts have it all to do. A mountain to climb, and it was 2 even earlier goals that settled it in the game I was just talking about from last season. But right now Hearts, they've actually played pretty well in the game. They're 2-0 down, they'll feel aggrieved to be 2-0 behind. Robbie Nielsen will certainly, but that is the truth of the matter, and already this game might be slipping away from them. And it's going to be, it was a great reaction from going 1-0 down, but it'll be very interesting to see the reaction to going 2-0 down now for the home team.
Yeah, Hearts have performed well, they've played really well, but Rangers just look as if they've got that bit extra in the attacking sense. I mentioned it earlier, the speed and their movement, the speed in the pass. They're dragging Hearts all over the place, making them, get back as quick as they can. Again, it's a restart, the ball goes down, Ryan Kent's off. They're asking so many questions of Hearts defensively, trying to exploit those gaps. They should be further in front in terms of the chances they've created. And that is the worry, because Rangers haven't been knocked the ball about, dragging Hearts all over the place in terms of pass and move in through the midfield. It's get the ball forward as quick as it can, exploit the gaps that are left, and go at real speed, and of course Hearts no end of problems.
Hearts need the next goal. Here's Humphreys playing it short back the way to Devlin, outside of the boot to Humphreys. Jack just does enough to tow it away, but it breaks to Cochrane, and it's played short to Devlin and back to Kingsley. Kingsley stretching his legs, but runs into Cholak, checks his run, turns the other way, and goes all the way back to Craig Gordon, who's in possession. Short to Devlin, and then out to Kingsley again over on that left-hand side. Long ball will bounce through. Tavernier and Goldson are covering, and it's Tavernier who clears it. And the referee gives Rangers a free kick. I think Cochrane with a little push there over on the far side. So it's Hearts 0, Rangers 2, 33rd minute of the game. And Giovanni van Bronckhorst, on paper, apart from going to Celtic Park, this is the most difficult game his team is going to face on paper, given Hearts have the third strongest squad, given Hearts were third comfortably last season, and of course took them to extra time in the cup final last term. This is a fabulous position for him and his team to be in, is it not?
Yes, it is. I think that Hearts have certainly been in positions to create problems, getting beyond that back line, particularly down Rangers' left-hand side. But when they've got there, they haven't been able to pick a man out, and I think you have to credit Rangers for getting their bodies back, defending and being in good positions. But when they've went forward, the pace at which they've done that.
Great ball to Kent on the near side, brilliant defending by Smith. Ryan Kent killed it on the chest. Another thing that Giovanni van Bronckhorst will be chuffed about is that Colak's got his 2 goals, but Kent set one up, Matondo set the other.
Yeah, and they're looking to get it wide as fast as they can, get it forward as quick as they can, and that's that plays to the strengths of Matondo and Kent, because how often do we see Kent in particular coming deep and taking touch and going backwards and not really having an effect in the game, but he's playing as an out-and-out winger today. He's getting high and wide, they're getting the ball forward, get it diagonals as quick as they can to him, and he's been able to cause problems. Matondo, a lot's been asked, what type of player, how can he have an impact? He's playing high and wide, he's getting a chance to go and run at fullbacks and take people on, and then you get into the area. How's your final ball? The one for Colak's second goal. Fantastically weighted pass, he sees it, he plays it, and Colak does the rest.
I think it was Lundstrom, wasn't it, who had opened the opportunity up for Rangers there as he slipped it through to Matondo, whose pass was good, but Colak's still got a heck of a lot to do to score there, and it's a fabulous striker's goal.
Yeah, and a goal of Craig Gordon's quality as well. Yeah. It's a magnificent finish.
James Humphreys for Hearts as they look to find a way back. He's up to the edge of the penalty area again. Rangers standing their ground, out wide to Smith, first time ball in, headed away by Ben Davis. So important that Rangers got him back. He may well feature against his old team Liverpool on Tuesday on Champions League business as Jack nicks it through. Matondo will give chase here. Matondo could be in for Rangers thirds. Not a great touch. Gordon comes out and he gets there, and it bobbles out to Mackay on this near side. A better touch than Rabbi Matondo could have been in for Rangers third. 10 from the break, 2-0 to the visitors.
It's the speed again. Ryan Kent was the one that was on. It didn't get there. He switched off. He probably could have got the second one, but Matondo doesn't. He's got that intent to run in behind. And you're right, he takes a heavy touch.
It's a yellow coming up here for Tavernier. Cynical professional foul there on Alan Forrest on the far side. Forrest was in behind him. He just had a little tug of his shirt. And James Tavernier joins Ben Davis in Stephen McLean's book. Hearts free kick, a few yards inside the Rangers have, over on that left-hand side. But they need to score the next goal, James, Hearts, and they'd prefer it to come before half-time.
Yeah, they do. As I said, they have played well. They have asked the question, Rangers defensively. Can they find that final pass? Can they make that final decision a bit better? Because they're in this game. They have been in the game, they're in it. What I will say is, though, when they're going and committing bodies forward, they're leaving gaps, and Rangers showing that intent to run in behind, exploit those gaps and do it at pace. It's causing Hearts problems.
Ball forward by Barisic. Colak with a little header looking for Kent. In the way with Smith. Now it's with Barry Mackay, who runs into his old teammate Tavernier, and now it's with Matondo back out to Tavernier. Mackay does well to win it back for Hearts, facing his own goal though, facing his own corner flag, and he's done well to win a throw-in. So it bounces off Colak, and out of play for a Hearts throw level with the 18-yard line of their own box. The seconds in this first half tick away. Plenty more action to come this afternoon, including the Premiership matches: Celtic, Motherwell, Aberdeen, Kilmarnock, Dundee United, St Johnstone, Ross County, Hibs and St Mirren, Livingston. Busy week. Tuesday, Liverpool Rangers, 8 o'clock kickoff in the Champions League. Wednesday, Leipzig against Celtic, 5:45 kickoff. Then we're back at Tynecastle on Thursday, where Hearts take on Serie A Fiorentina. Huge game for their ambitions to get through the group, as Matondo gives chase to a long ball over on the far side, but he's not going to get there, and Gordon lets it go behind for the goal kick. Hearts 0, Rangers 2, 37.5 on the clock.
Again, that ball's rolled back. There's no second thought. Just get it in behind, get it in the channel. for Matondo to run onto. It's just overhit, but he's read it, he's aware of what's happening. He just can't quite get there, and that's the threat, the different threat that Rangers have posed today.
Lewis Nielsen's long ball, Humphreys gets something onto it with the head, but Ben Davies gets there ahead of Shankland, and then McGregor digs it out with the right foot out on the far side. Matondo, Cochrane does well, but then gives it away, and Matondo, I think, is happy to try and let that go over the line. Eventually he's smashed to the floor by a couple. Oh, red card's out as well! It's a red card! Devlin has been sent off, and Hearts afternoon's going from bad to worse here against Rangers. Matondo lying in a heap on the far side, and Stephen McLean flashes red. 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
I would need to see it again, Liam, but from where I'm sat, Cochrane and Matondo are having a kind of... Matondo's holding Cochrane off, and it looks like he's trying to let the ball roll out. Cammy Devlin could run and take the ball from the other side, but to me it looks like it just goes straight through the back of Matondo. And
yeah, okay, James, tell you what, Brian's had a look at a replay, and he has got a much better view of the incident as it happened than we do over on the main stand side. Brian.
Yeah, I've had a look at a couple of angles of it. Absolutely the correct decision by Stephen McLean. Cammy Devlin's came in, he's high, he's just behind the knee on Matondo. Absolutely no choice other than a red card for Stephen McLean in that instance. Absolutely reckless by Cammy Devlin.
He's cost his team. It's cost his team big time. Any hopes they had of coming back into this game of football in which they trailed 2-0 to Rangers have just gone up the tunnel with him, you feel?
There's no need for it either. You know, as I was describing, Matondo's holding Cochrane off. It looks like the ball's going to roll out. It's not, because they're there for a bit. Devlin spots that, runs in. He could come in front of Matondo or to his right-hand side and take the ball. But he makes the decision from 10-15 yards away that he's going to go in and he's going to smash Matondo. It's basically on the halfway line. He's not going anywhere, he's not stopping an attack. There's no need for it, because Hearts have been in the game. They've tried to force the issue, they've tried to, get back into it in terms of the scoreline, but you can't do that when you put your team down to 10 men when you're still competitive in this game. It's a crazy decision.
Well, we have spoken earlier in the half. In fact, James, you were saying he's the kind of guy everyone wants in their team, but he does like to play on the edge of things. He's got that short fuse and the frustration. His team's 2-0 down, he knows it's played well, his team, and it's obviously just all boiled over there.
I get that in a 50-50 challenge, or one you're maybe not, slight underdog to win the challenge.
That's
fine,
premeditated,
but that's, there is no need for it. That's not brave. That's not laying a marker down and saying we're still in it, we're going to fight. It's just decided to go through the back of him, potentially hurt Matondo, which you don't want to see. Definitely hurting his team, because he's a player, as we've spoken about quite a bit, that you need in your team. That energy he brings, that competitive edge. That's not competitive edge. That's just sheer stupidity from Cammy Devlin, and it's probably taken away the chance of his team getting back into this game.
He'll play miss his team's next 2 league games, which are both away from home at Kilmarnock and Aberdeen, and he's a very important player for this Hearts side. 41 on the clock. Now the dust settling on that, and Rangers with a 2-0 lead and up against 10 men.
I think as well, Liam, when sometimes you're playing in these games, you're 2-0 down, you're getting the run around, you can't get near the ball, you can't get near anyone, you're not getting a touch of the ball. It's not been the case for Hearts. It's not been a frustrating day for them in terms of they've been really outplayed by Rangers. They are getting beat, but it's just a crazy decision.
Challenge by Ryan Jack was a strong one in Alan Forrest there, but he got plenty of the ball. The referee's happy with it, the Hearts fans aren't. They've not been happy about too much in this first half, which has got 3 minutes just over that left. Long ball for Arfield, but it's going to bounce all the way through to Craig Gordon. We'll pick up, and there's going to be a Hearts change by the looks of things, Brian.
Yeah, Peter Haring is ready to come on. The minute Cammy Devlin went up the tunnel, he turned to the bench and told Peter Haring to get ready. The player coming off, well, unfortunately for him, will be Alan Forrest.
He's been in good form as well. You'll have to just focus on Fiorentina on Thursday. Hearts winning that game against RFS last time out in their group has given them a chance, and going into that Fiorentina double-header to try and pick up as many points as they can and get through the group. But here they're up against it And it's a long ball by Smith for Shanklin. Goldson's header gets there first, and he finds Barisic. He whips it up the line for Arfield. He's not going to control. It's with Smith. And then Kilmert Sorglu plays it back the way to Nielsen, who's about level with the edge of the centre circle in his own half. Out to Smith. Forward to Shanklin, to Humphreys, back to Michael Smith. Humphreys is an option out wide if he wants him. Instead he turns it infield to Shanklin, and it's going to be cleared by Lundstrom. It was the wrong decision, and the ref's going to bring it back as it's bounced off him for an uncontested ball here for Stephen McLean to preside over. 43 on the clock. Hearts 0, Rangers 2, and the change Brian has just brought us news of will be made. Alan Forrest will come off to be replaced by Peter Haring, and the one man that Alan Forrest has to blame for this isn't his manager Robbie Nielsen, it's the man who is sitting probably with his head in his hands in the dressing room right now, Cammy Devlin.
Yeah, and you see the opportunity Hearts get down this right hand side. Michael Smith getting beyond, he's got the option of Humphreys, he's got the option of Shankland inside him. They're a man down, so those passes, those timings of the runs have to be perfect now, because you're taking a bigger chance, and it's just behind Shanklin. Rangers managed to crowd it out, and that's going to be a difficulty for Hearts. You lose that threat from Forrest because you have to bring on Haring to try and shore up the midfield, but you lose something then going forward. And even then, although they've got into good areas, their decision making the final pass, their ability to maybe get as many bodies into the box probably wasn't there for Hearts as it is. It's going to be even less now, so the chances they create have to be almost perfect now.
Final minutes of the 45, there's going to be a minimum of two added on at the end of the first half, we are hearing. And Hearts have a throw-in level with the edge of the D of their own box on this near side. A real hush amongst the Hearts supporters now.
Yeah, because up until that point they still felt, though, as you said, if they get the next goal then you never know.
Well, Humphreys almost managed to squeeze it through to Shanklin, blocked by Davis. Now back to Tavernier, who's been a real bright spot, Humphreys, for Hearts today. He's wreaked some havoc down this near side. It's been a very uncomfortable afternoon so far for Borna Barisic in particular. He loves to cut infield and drive towards the penalty area. He couldn't quite pick out Shanklin, and Davis finds Goldson as it slipped out to Tavernier on the far side. Back to Goldson, and now with Davis. Well, the plan was working perfectly for Van Bronckhorst before the red card, especially so now, and he's standing down there in his technical area, hands in pockets. He'll be pretty cool, calm and collected about how his afternoon in Edinburgh's going right now, as Davis finds Jack. Out to this near side, Barisic has made his run. Jack looking for him and finding him. Good ball, wide left. Barisic level with the 6-yard line. His cross takes a deflection, flicked away by Cochrane. Didn't get much on it, but he's fortunate because it drops to Mackay, who finds the sub Haring, who clears with the left foot, but it's out for a Rangers throw-in over on that far side as we tick our way through stoppage time here. John Lundstrom collects. There's 1 minute left. Played one of the two that was added. Jack for Kent, little ball out wide left. Barisic, Rangers looking for a third before the break. It's a clipped ball in, and Arfield will score. Craig Gordon's missed it. He's run into Matondo, and Arfield was there to put it home, but it's not going to count because Craig Gordon has come out on top with his argument with the referee that he was impeded by Matondo, and it will stay 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
I need to see that again, because Craig Gordon does come for it. Matondo challenges, looks more like a coming together, but I would like to see that again. And Scott Arfield puts it at the back of the net, but the foul was given pretty early as well by Stephen McLean.
Headed away by Davis in the final 10 seconds as Cholak finds Lundstrom, who finds Jack, who goes back to Tavernier. So a let off for Hearts there, but it's been a very disappointing first half for them, and ironically because they've actually played pretty well. The half-time whistle goes here at Tynecastle. Rangers going up the tunnel at the break with a 2-0 lead, given to them by a double from man of the moment, Antonio Cholak. The first a header from a brilliant Kent cross, the second after brilliant play down the right-hand side this time, as Matondo found Cholak. Still had a lot of work to do at the right-hand side of the 6-yard area. He drilled it past Craig Gordon. whose shoulders are slumped. The Hearts skipper as he makes his way off the pitch over on the far side. Hearts' hopes of getting back into this, though, surely ended by the red card, which was flashed at Cammy Devlin for a horrible challenge on Rabbi Matondo over on the far side. We hear it was a deserved red card from the replays, and that has made Hearts' task mountainous to come back into this one. Now Arfield actually had the ball in the net there in first half stoppage time, but the ref this time bailed Hearts out for a foul by Matondo on Craig Gordon, which stopped the Arfield celebrations. But at half time, it's the Rangers fans who are by far and away the happier, because it is 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
If you want some ideas for playtime,
Hey kids, I bought some new felt pens.
we can help get the imagination going
This is amazing.
and create even more fun
What are you doing?
I'm playing hide and seek.
for as long as you need it.
That was a fun 3 hours.
CBB shows like Bluey are full of playful ideas for your little ones.
What should we play?
You got this, but we're here when you need us. Watch Series 2 of Bluey on BBC iPlayer.
Rangers 2-0 up at half-time against Hearts at Tynecastle. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's side in complete control. Hearts down to 10 men as well. Cammy Devlin sent off for stamping on Rabbi Matondo, and it could easily have been 3-0 at half-time there. That disallowed effort after the referee had judged Craig Gordon to have been fouled. Let's get the thoughts of Michael Stewart, Leanne Crichton, but first of all, our chief sports writer Tom English in the studio. And Tom, is it game over?
You'd have to assume so, yeah. 2-0. Arfield has missed a great chance. Could have been another goal. Arfield, I think the goal at the end is disallowed. I think it was wrongly disallowed. There could be 4. Cholak has been ruthless in his finishing. Fair play to Rangers wide players. I've given them plenty of stick on these programmes previously. Great cross from Kent for the first. Brilliant work from Matondo for the second. And Hearts, at 1-0 Hearts rallied and they were well in the game. Their response was very good. But at 2-0, I think it's curtains, especially with Devlin, which was not just needless, clearly dangerous, horrible, disgraceful tackle, non-tackle, just an incident that was really, really unpleasant and actually grossly selfish, because his team are 2-0 down and he's no need to do that. But he does it anyway. He's always going to get a red card, and I just thought it was awful incident. And Matondo was lucky actually, because there was a lot of nastiness in that.
Leanne, as it stands, Rangers top of the table. Obviously Celtic play later this afternoon. How impressed have you been by Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's side?
Yeah, really impressed actually. Tom mentioned the wide players. I think that's been the difference this afternoon. More aggressive, I think, middle to front, looking to try and break the lines, really holding their width, causing Hearts an awful lot of problems as well. Arfield then steps on and goes and occupies almost like a second striker at times, which makes it then really difficult for the two centre-backs up against Cholak and Arfield with the width stretching the back line. I think the range of passing, which we've seen, was it for the second goal, Davies with a switch of play, left foot, bangs it right out to the right-hand touchline, which just makes the game so big from a Hearts perspective, and that's what Rangers have done really well. They've managed to occupy the pitch really well. As I say, aggressive, penetrative passes, looking to get in behind. But the game started really quick, and Hearts were in the game. James described it in commentary. It was end-to-end for many moments. A short spell in the game, but once Rangers got that goal, they really have taken a grip of it. The second goal probably kills it. And the sending off is, as Tom says, it's a selfish decision, because Hearts would have believed that they could have perhaps got one back, and then it becomes an edgy encounter. But by the looks of things now, it's game over. And actually the third goal that was chopped off for Arfield at the end, I actually think Craig Gordon's really lucky to get away with it. I've looked at it again. I think he completely misjudges the flight of the ball as he's coming for it. I don't think he was ever going to be able to gather it. So he's kind of initiated going towards Matondo. Yes, Matondo puts he's almost his backside out to protect himself. But Hearts have got off the hook in my opinion. I don't think so because Craig Gordon is never
Hearts captain.
He's never collecting the ball though.
Jonathan, that's below you, I've got to say, because
Kenny Mack would never have stooped that low.
To say that Craig Gordon has initiated the contact, he's coming for the cross. Yes, he can't gather it, but Rabbi Matondo, you can say it's soft or whatever, but the fact is that Craig Gordon has stopped from being able to go and get the ball again. And you know that in those situations, goalkeepers are always going to be given a free kick. I don't think that is a surprise at all that the officials have blown that one up. But, I mean, look...
Do you think it's right?
Yeah, I do. I do, personally, because when you're talking about in these instances which are so crucial, where a goalkeeper has been impeded and it has ended up in a goal, then I do think it's the right call. But look, that is by the by.
I was going to say, how do you sum up that first half from a Hearts point of view?
It's by the by. It's not from a Hearts perspective. It's purely just from a first half performance. Rangers have been by far the better side. They've been ruthless, clinical, everything that the guys have spoken about. You're looking at Cholak's second goal. He threads it through the eye of a needle. Craig Gordon is out. He's spread really well, and Cholak finishes it perfectly, just under Craig Gordon's arm and over his leg, in the one area where you'd say is the only one that's potential to get into the back of the net, and he's been decisive really. Cholak, his header as well, pinpoint accuracy into the bottom corner off the goalpost. But Hearts have been exposed. Leanne touched on it there in terms of Scott Arfield breaking forward. It has at times been 4v4 at the back for Hearts, and Rangers have been able to exploit the Hearts backline. Hearts are obviously trying to press the game higher up, and those crossfield diagonals from Davies and Goldson have allowed Rangers to be able to beat that press. And as I've already just spoken about, on occasions it seems to have been almost 4v4 at the backline.
Give us your thoughts, Michael, on the Cammy Devlin incident. I must admit, I've still not seen it. I was in the off-the-ball studio doing the trail, but it does seem like an open and shut case from what everybody else seems to be saying.
Yeah, he didn't catch him above the knee. It's right on his ankle almost, and it's a red card. It's silly. Watching these sorts of things, though, I'm trying to figure out what in his head is, what he's been trying to do, because you don't want to think that players are deliberately trying to hurt the opposition. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, is he trying to get his body and his leg across Matondo and shield him out? But you would know where your foot's going to be planted, and that's planted right on Matondo's boot.
He hasn't gone for the ball, Michael, is
No, exactly. No, but I'm trying to think, is he trying to get his body across Matondo to then be able to take the ball away without making contact with it? But if you were doing that, your foot would be across and planted on the ground. It wouldn't be planted on Matondo. So it's a red card all day long. And obviously the guys in commentary were talking about it. Yourself and Leanne have mentioned it there. It's totally needless. He doesn't need to do that. He could still have been physical, won the challenge and taken the ball away without committing a red card offence like that. And this game reminds me so much of, I was looking back at it very quickly, when Cholak scored and Hearts were all right. It was, and I looked at the date, it was the game last December where Rangers ended up winning 2-0. Hearts got a man sent off, but it was later in the game. Josh Ginnelly got sent off. Morelos scored after 9 minutes, I think it was, and then Aribo scored quickly after that. And it feels very similar to that, where Hearts were actually not too bad, but they just shooting themselves in the foot and being sucker punched with some really decisive attacking play from Rangers.
And you've got to wonder, Leanne, what on earth will Robbie Neilson be saying at half-time?
Yeah, I think he'll be disappointed. We get close-ups of him in terms of the pictures after the red card, looking to try and reshuffle the pack. They were forced to then make a change. He'll be looking for his team now, it'll be damage limitation. Maybe the message will be, can you go and win the second half possibly? At a push, can you stay in the game? What Hearts don't want is a humiliating result, that goes on 3, 4, 5 goals, because that's a real disappointment in front of your own fans. It's all you can do, at this stage in the game when you're 2-0 down and you lose a player. We spoke about the firepower that Rangers have also got coming off the bench. They've got a bit of strength and depth to their squad. So they'll be looking to, go and really turn the screw and can they go and add to it. But for Robbie Neilson, he just needs to shut up shop. He needs to really nullify that Rangers threat. try and be really tight and compact, deal with the movement of Arfield middle to front, as I mentioned, causing big problems. But you don't want to concede another goal in this second half.
I mean, they're missing, and the Hearts look like a team that are missing the best centre backs. Halkett's a big miss, Rawls is a big miss, and there's confusion in there. Rangers are pretty slick, and a slick Rangers and a kind of makeshift centre back pairing for Hearts. That's not a great cocktail for the Tynecastle faithful.
That's what I was saying before. Robbie was talking about, and understandably trying to be positive about it, but that's not Hearts, as Tom's spoken about there. That's not their first choice defensive setup. Stephen Kingsley is a great player, but I think in the last 6 months in particular, he's been a bit more of a here, there and everywhere for Stephen Kingsley. He can do an admirable job in a lot of those positions, but for me, I want to see him playing left back. That's to me where his strength is. He can fill in, but when Kai Rolls and Craig Halkett are out, that's a big concern. And as I said before the game as well, Lewis Nielsen is a good prospect. He's shown that even in flashes here in this game. But when you're going into a big game like this, you want to have your strongest team. And the big concern is for Hearts moving forward with Craig Halkett is he is having problems with his muscles here. The body composite of him is one that would give me concern that that's something that's going to, it's already recurring, and it's when do you get him back and what's the cover for him. That's why I mentioned before, right sided centre half was a position that I felt Hearts had to go and get reinforcements in.
In terms of reinforcements, we're hearing there may be a change on the way for Rangers. Let's cross to our trackside reporter Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, there's got to be a couple of changes made by Gio at the start of the second half. Ryan Jack and Ben Davis are going to be replaced. The players coming on, Stephen Davis and James Sands will slot into that centre-back role, replacing Ben Davis.
That's interesting, isn't it, Tom? I mean, Davis had got a yellow card in the first half, of course.
Yeah, look, maybe, is it European-wise? Are they thinking the game on Tuesday? I hope it's not an injury.
Well, that would be my thoughts.
I hope it's not. Yeah, I hope it isn't. For Rangers' sake, for Anfield, but it is interesting.
Yeah. Tom, for me, that has got to be a precaution in terms of they're 2-0 up, they're down against 10 men.
Yeah.
He's just come back into the side. You're thinking this is a perfect game for him to go and get 90 minutes, regardless of what is happening during the week. And Ryan Jack's obviously had injury problems of late as well. So very much in the same vein as what I was just talking about with Craig Halkett, you start to think the same with Ben Davies and for Ryan Jack as well. Once you start getting a niggle, it's amazing how often it just reappears, and that's a big concern.
I think with Davies though, if you're looking at return to play in terms of a physio's point of view, I think you look at 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. I think there's a gradual build up. If the game was 0-0 at half time, it might not be a forced change. So I think looking at that one, it's possibly precaution. You've got your 45 minutes in the tank. There's no point in pushing you beyond that. They've got enough there to go and change it. Ryan Jack, possibly. I would look at Ryan Jack, maybe a slight niggle or issue there. But
do you not think for Ben Davies though, this is a game where they're 2-0 up, they're against 10 men. For me, this is the perfect opportunity for, go and play.
No, you're right. You are right.
The yellow card not be a factor here, Michael. Do you feel there's no point getting reduced to 10 men as well, giving Hearts that opportunity?
But you've got to then balance it out with he's not played much football. This is yes, he's got a yellow card, but this is a perfect opportunity in a fairly controlled fashion in a tough location to go and get another few minutes in his tank.
We understand there are also going to be changes for Hearts. Let's get back to Brian.
Yeah, it's all changed down here. Stephen Kingsley and Barry Mackay. I'm told it's just precautionary though with these two players. The players coming on will be Andy Halliday and Robert Snodgrass, so that no doubt will mean a shuffle at the back, possibly Alex Cochrane moving in to the centre back, but we'll find out very shortly as the teams take the field for the second half.
Thanks, Brian. Big players coming off there for Hearts. Michael, your thoughts? I mean, obviously we're kind of talking about this match potentially kind of almost being game over already, and then thoughts turn, of course, Tuesday night, Rangers up against Liverpool in the Champions League. Hearts at home to Fiorentina on Thursday night in the Conference League.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that these European games are on the manager's minds, but for Stephen Kingsley, he falls into the category of everyone that we've just been talking about. He's had niggles the last few months, and you're hopeful. These are the sorts of things where the players might be feeling it a little bit, and they're just not wanting to take any risks and hoping that they're then going to be all right for midweek. But it's inevitably going to be a concern because of their track record over the last few months. And Kingsley is a huge player for Hearts, and sticking Alex Cochrane, which is what it probably seems like it's going to happen at centre half, is far from ideal.
Absolutely. Right. More chat from Michael, Leanne and Tom later, but the teams are emerging for the second half. It is intriguing, these changes, but Rangers well and truly in control against 10 men Hearts. Let's cross back to your commentary team. James McFarren and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, and Rangers have won 6 of their last 7 trips to Edinburgh to face Hearts on league business. The only exception being in January 2020 when Liam Boyce scored the winner late on, having set the other one up on his Hearts debut. After Kent had given Rangers the lead after the break, they of course beat them in the Scottish Cup the following month as Rangers prepare to get the second half underway. 11 up against 10, and the 11 have a 2-0 cushion. Not the position Hearts want to be in. Rangers delighted with this because, as we said in the first half, on paper probably out with Celtic Park, their most difficult league fixture is at Tynecastle. Colak will get things underway as Brian brought us news. 2 changes for both sides as it's moved back to Lundstrom and out to Barisic. For Hearts, Craig Gordon in goal, Smith, Nielsen, Cochrane and Halliday I think will be the setup at the back. It is indeed that, with Haring and Humertzoglu in the middle. Snodgrass now and Humphreys either side of Shankland. For Rangers it's McGregor in goal, Tavernier, Goldson, Sands who's replaced Ben Davis, with Barisic on the other side, Arfield, Lundstrom and Stephen Davis, who's come on for Ryan Jack at the start of the second half. Matondo and Kent either side of Colak. Hearts pick up a loose ball as they go right to left in the maroon shirts, shooting towards the Roseburn. Humertzoglu loses it though, and Lundstrom is driving forward as Rangers attack the Gorgie Road end in the second half. It's moved to the right of the circle for Tavernier and out with Matondo on this near side. Matondo level with the edge of the D of the Hearts box, looks to return it to Tavernier. Halliday gets there, but Tavernier pinches it back off. His old Rangers colleague works the 1-2 with Stephen Davis. Cross comes in, takes a deflection, and it just comes off the heel of the right boot of Ryan Kent, who was in a brilliant position 6 yards out. Now, the cross came in, it's taken a nick, which has probably perhaps deceived them slightly in the second minute of the second half. Rangers leading 2-0.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's going to be a theme of this second half for Rangers. Hearts look to have gone more like a 4-3-2 with Humphreys in closer to Shankland. That means it's going to be a hell of a shift for Snodgrass, Haring and Keogh in the midfield, but it also means that they have to pick up the midfield men, try and get out to the full-backs, because we've spoke about Matondo and Kent being high up the pitch. Halliday and Smith on the other side are going to have to try and deal with them, so you would expect there's going to be more space for the full-backs of Rangers, and it's a tough one. I understand why Robbie's done it, to try and provide more threat going forward. That's going to be a hell of a shift for those 3 midfield men.
It's Humertzoglu over on the far side. He's going to win his team a corner. It's well played there by Humertzoglu, the German, signed after 3 seasons at Heracles in the Netherlands, and it's going to be a corner to be taken here by Snodgrass. In swinger with the left foot coming up here from that far side, right in front of the Rangers supporters. Snodgrass hands on hips. Can they pull something back here? Might be their best hope. And it comes a header. It's wide. Alan McGregor was waving bye to that. It's Andy Halliday. McGregor wasn't diving. That's on target. Top left corner. Hearts have won back, but it stays 2-0 Rangers.
It should be on target as well. It's a great ball from Robert Snodgrass, whipped with that left foot. And Halliday gets up early, he sees it. I think it comes off the top of his head. I really do. I don't know if he closes his eyes or not. It's a huge opportunity for Hearts to get back in this game.
Here's Tavernier for Rangers on this near side. Rolls it forward to Colak. First time into the path of Stephen Davis. Right hand side of the box. Gets the cross in, takes another deflection, loops to the back post, and Arfield will win the corner as it bounces back off Michael Smith from one end to the other in a flash by Rangers.
Well, they're not sitting back and taking a 2-0 Rangers. That's Stephen Davis making that run down the right hand side.
Here is Lundstrom at the edge of the box, back to Kent, takes it into his stride, but it breaks off Shankland, back off Kent and behind for a goal kick. They might want to look at the goal difference as well, James. Perhaps that's in the thoughts even this early in the season. Celtic coming into this weekend with a home game against Motherwell to come, plus 22. Colak's goals have taken Rangers up to +10. Of course, they can go a point clear today if they win, ahead of Celtic's match against the Steelmen later.
Yeah, well, it's also, you don't want to just go and sit back and defend. Rangers have shown that, they're very dangerous on the attack, and they want to go and win the game in style. 2-0, it's the old cliche, it's a dangerous lead, because if Hearts get that lift by getting a goal back, then who knows what can happen. And you don't want to be, switching off and then having to pick yourself back up. So, yeah, Rangers will go for it, and they'll try and get as many goals as they can and win this game in as much style as they can.
Rangers in position, left of the box. Here is Kent, out to Barisic. Poor pass though, straight to Smith. Soglu gets the break of the ball off Ryan Kent and shimmies it in field here for Humphreys. On the turn, now he's driving forward again. Left a couple in their wake there. Arfield with a foul on Haring in the centre circle. Stop all thoughts of a opportunity there for Rangers to break forward with Connor Goldson, who popped up left of the centre circle in the Hearts half. And it is a free kick to the hosts, who still trail 2-0 as we approach the end of the 5th second half minute. It's now with Cochrane, who's to backtrack a little to get onto Nielsen's ball from the free kick. Left-footed, chipped forward down the left-hand side, and Tavernier lets it go across him. And now he's on the ball here, and he rolls it to Lundstrom.
That has to be better. Cochrane's got time, he's got his head up, he can see Shankland. He just needs to pass that into the channel, into feet. He plays it in behind, and that's easy for Rangers to deal with.
There's Kent. Sliding challenge from Soglu, puts it out for a throw-in. It's actually come off a Rangers player last for a Hearts ball over on the far side. If they can get the next goal, Hearts, and I know they're down to 10, but Rangers haven't really, I don't think, put together a 90-minute performance this season in the league.
No, Hearts, you can see, you would look at it and say, taking Mackay off, maybe, that creative spark, but it's because that they've made a slight change to the system. Snodgrass has gone in and playing in that midfield area. Haring sitting deeper, you've got Soglu and Snodgrass in the midfield, and Humphreys has come in off the side. So they are going to try and get that goal back, and you never know what can happen. If you can get that goal back, it can change the momentum of the game. But Rangers are using the ball very well. They're getting those overloads, particularly down the wide areas, and they will try and make it as difficult as they can. But if Hearts can get a goal back, you never know what can happen.
Started the second half pretty well, Hearts, to be fair to them. Haring collects on the far side, rolled forward towards Shanklin. He was between Sands and Goldson. Goldson comes across him and gets it away. And Barisic back to Sands inside his own box. And just rolls it to Goldson. And then forward, they've played it out well. Davis now with Colak, who finds Tavernier, who finds Matondo. It's brilliantly worked by Rangers there, though Matondo loses out to Halliday, but Colak helps him. Now it's Davis to Matondo. Colak to his right, but he's got options to his left. One of them is Kent. He sweeps it to him just outside the box. Kent's on it, left-footed, deflected, corner on this near side. Again, it's good build-up play by Rangers. They look very dangerous.
Yeah, they do. The Hearts are committing to the press. Peter Haring breaking from midfield, and the ball's played across, a square pass almost across the box by Rangers, but then they break the lines, get it out to Matondo, and Andy Halliday actually won the ball back. He could have played it back to Cochrane. He doesn't. He tries to take Colak on, and then Rangers get on the break again, and it's something Rangers are going to continue this second half.
Tavernier with it, and Stephen Davis lashes it over the crossbar. Goal kick will go to Hearts. Yeah, Rangers were 2-0 up against Dundee United a fortnight ago at Ibrox, albeit United had 11 players on the pitch, but former Hearts player Liam Smith with a deflected goal pulled one back, and they looked like a pretty nervy defensive unit in particular, despite the fact they were in such a comfortable position in the game at one point. So Hearts pull one back. They could potentially still make this difficult for Rangers, though it has been a good away performance by Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's side today.
It has, but Rangers have to continue doing what was working for them in the first half. They can't, I'm not saying they need to rush it forward every single time. They do have to try and draw that press, but when they get into that final third, the speed still has to be there, the intent still has to be there, because it can be a subconscious drop-off, and that just invites Hearts to go and put pressure on, and you're causing your own problems as much as the opposition are.
There's Snodgrass, tries to nick it forward to Shanklin, straight to Sands though, who finds Barisic, who goes back to his goalkeeper.
Just on that one there, it comes to Barisic, and Kent's trying to drop forward to take the ball to feet, but the space is in behind. That's what I'm saying, you have to continue to make Hearts defend, to make them run back towards their own goal.
John Lundstrom Edge of the centre circle, rolls it with the left foot to Barisic. On the left-hand side, up the line to Kent. And back to Barisic, and he rolls it back to James Sands inside his own half. Square ball into the centre circle for Lundstrom, who steps away from Shankland. Chip ball with the right foot out to the left there for Kent. Barisic on the overlap. Kent sizes up the box, crosses it in towards Matondo. Cochrane does enough. He was on the ground when he managed to get the touch onto it. And Snodgrass finds Haring out to Halliday on this near side. What a chance he had to reduce the arrears for Hearts earlier in the second half. 54 on the clock, Hearts 0, Rangers 2. Great opportunity against his boyhood team. Stick the head onto that and get it into the top left corner. He sent the header well past in the end. The Sands collects and rolls it to Barisic on that left-hand side. Tucked in field to Arfield, back to Barisic. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst a little bit frustrated over there just now. Sands plays it back to Goldson. They have made those 2 changes at the start of the second half, which might have taken a little bit of the momentum away from them. Finished that first half strongly, even when it was 11 against 11. It's James Sands rolling it out to Barisic on the left. Midway inside Hearts territory here. Down the line for Kent. Barisic continues his run. Kent skips in field from Smith. Rolls it back to Lundstrom. Takes a touch and then squares it to Tavernier. Tavernier then short to Stephen Davis. Davis to Arfield. Back to Davis. Out to Matondo on this near side. 2-0 Rangers, 55 on the clock. Tavernier gets it from Matondo and finds Davis. Now it's Matondo, and now it's back into their own half for Connor Goldson. James Sands with the right foot, low ball along the grass to Barisic on the left, in field to Lundstrom. Forward to Arfield. Smith's challenge. Arfield went down. Craig Gordon gets there as he came through towards Cholak, and it's the goalkeeper who emerges on top this time. And it's played by Cochrane short to Haring. Under pressure from Arfield, goes back the way to Nielsen. Nielsen out to the right for Smith. Smith with the long ball, but he's sliced that out into touch for a Rangers throw-in on the far side. He's apologising to his teammates. 56 on the clock. 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
Yeah, it's tough for Hearts because Rangers, you know, for all I'm saying, to use that speed when they're attacking, they're just knocking the ball about, waiting for that opening. And when Hearts win it back, they're bringing, you know, all their bodies back. They don't really have that out ball to go and stretch the game and try and cause Rangers problems. But you know, the longer it goes on, you know, Rangers are comfortable. There's no doubt about it. But when it's 2-0, it's still got that feeling of, if Hearts manage to get a goal back, what does that do to Rangers then? But they're in control at the minute.
Davis for Lundstrom in the Hearts half, finds Arfield, now attacking the Hearts box, wide left for Kent. Kent steps into the area, chops away from one, shoots, deflected up high into the air, and behind for Rangers' latest corner kick in the 57th minute.
It's Ryan Kent where you want him, in the box, taking people on. Barisic makes a good run outside, he opts to come inside and get his shot away, but they can't keep allowing those runs from the fullbacks because eventually it will be reversed and then they've got a chance to go and pick someone out in the box.
Barisic over the corner, Gorgie Road end, main stand side. And the referee's ready, Barisic with it, outswinger, and then it comes, it's not the worst delivery, it just flicks off his compatriot Cholak's head and comes out to this near side of the box. Matondo gets the cross in, comes right through to Craig Gordon, who holds on to it. Did have a little spillage there, but he's got it back in his gloves, and it stays after 57 and a half. Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
That's a horrible one for Craig Gordon, wasn't it? Matondo's trying to bend that around the back line. It just comes off the inside of his foot, kind of knuckleballs it, bounces right in front of Craig Gordon. He gathers it the second attempt.
There's Tavernier through towards Kent, well covered by Smith. Had to get there, otherwise Kent was in on the goalkeeper. It was well defended. Rangers are one of just 3 teams to beat Hearts here in the league since the home team were promoted a couple of summers ago. Celtic and Dundee are the others. Rangers are looking to make it a 3rd win over Hearts since then here. Won 2-0 and 3-1 here last season as Tavernier picks up at the edge of the box. He shoots, but it's a comfortable take for Gordon this time. Tavernier was on the right hand side of the penalty area, right of the D there. The right foot effort, but it's not troubled the Scotland number 1, who launches it forward looking for Shankland. Sands is there, he's in trouble though. Shankland claiming he was fouled on the edge of the box, and Stephen McLean just is not interested. in the Hearts appeals?
I think both of them are at it. I would like to see it again. Shanklin, you know, it might just have to be that is the threat that they carry, because it bounces, Sands doesn't deal with it. Shanklin managed to get round it the opposite side of him, and he deals with it in the end. But I would like to see it again.
Well, Rangers haven't won either of their last 2 away Premiership matches. They're looking good for one here, though, which would, for a few hours at least, put them top of the Premiership again. They're looking to take advantage of Celtic's slip-up in Paisley 13 days ago, albeit Celtic host Motherwell later on. Stephen Davis tries to rifle the ball to the left. Now that's come off Stephen McLean. He's got to bring that back. He has to bring it back, and he's going to eventually for an uncontested drop ball. Now, right, Rangers are in possession, comfortable possession. The crossfield ball, they're trying to switch the play, bounced off Stephen McLean. Yes, they've got an advantage, but the rule says if it hits the referee at all, he has to do an uncontested drop ball, and then it'll be a Rangers ball again here, but you can't play the advantage from that.
No, because it's a greater advantage to Rangers, because it drops to the feet of Lundstrom, who's then, you know, running from a much better area, a much more dangerous area for Hearts. It's the right decision. I just don't know why he's taking them so long to do it.
It's almost like you forgot that's the rule. It never used to be. As James Sands turns it out to the left-hand side for Kent. He's got an overlap from Barisic. Kent with the outside of the boot gets it back from Arfield. Kent leaves it for Lundstrom, pokes it forward to Stephen Davis. Out wide right for Matondo. Overlap from Tavernier if he wants him. Instead he plays it along the 18 for Lundstrom, who plays it to Ryan Kent. Back to Lundstrom, left-footed, deflected behind. Is it a corner or a goal kick? It's come off Cholak. Goal kick. We played an hour, just 30 seconds beyond that. Hearts 0, Rangers 2. And it looks as though there's going to be changes for Brian McLaughlin to sort out. You've had a busy afternoon over there.
Yeah, it's very busy over here. Yeah, a couple of changes made by Robbie Nielsen. This could be the final ones of the day, actually. It looks like, yeah, Kieran Murtroglu's coming off, as is Lauren Shanklin. The players coming on are Grant and Josh Giannelli, no doubt with an eye to Thursday night in Fiorentina, who come here, the Europa Conference League, on Thursday evening.
And what a night that will be here. We'll have that one live on Sportsound on Thursday evening. And we have got the Liverpool Rangers game on Tuesday, Leipzig Celtic on Wednesday. The two latter ones in the Champions League, but obviously Robbie Nielsen wants, he'd probably sign up for a 2-0 defeat right now ahead of that game against Fiorentina. He would love his team to get back into it, and they may well get something back into it, but rather get out of here without an absolute doing.
I think he's wanting to try and get back in the game. I think Giannelli, I spoke about it 5 minutes ago, when Hearts win it back, they don't have that threat in behind, they don't have that out ball. And as you've seen with the chance for Shanklin, he does get the other side, the Sands. So I think it's more, yeah, there might be, to back his mind, thought to Thursday night, but I think he still thinks they're in this game, they still have a chance to make it difficult, and Giannelli coming on to use his pace is to try and deal with that, although he's not that quick.
That's the way to say. They've slipped it through to him on the right hand side, but he's getting nowhere near it. Goes behind for a Rangers goal kick. Rangers changes this time, Brian.
Yeah, another double change coming up for Rangers. Scott Arfield will be the first player being replaced. Coming on for him will be number 71 Malik Tillman. And wait to hear the applause coming on, of course, for the Rangers number 20 Alfredo Morelos, and of course the player he will be replacing is the goal scorer this afternoon, Antonio Cholak.
He's got both. There's Cholak as Morelos comes on. He scored here in that game last winter. 2-0 victory against 10 men then as well. Giannelli, who's now on the pitch, was sent off as McGregor takes it short to Lundstrom. And Morelos will be desperate for a goal because he's having his thunder well and truly stolen these days.
Yeah, he will. But I think it's important that he gets some minutes as well. He's not had a great start to the season, and it's never nice when you're not at that level either, and the man that's come in to provide competition is far and away outscoring you, and look like nothing worse when you're out the team and it looks like the team's not missing you.
Good way of putting it. Cholak up to 11 for the season this afternoon, having got both goals. It's out for a throw into Hearts on the far side, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. So look to find a route back into this. 63.5 played, they are 2-0 down, and they are a man down. And it's Michael Smith over the throw. Bowls it back to Haring. Under pressure from Tillman, fouled by Tillman. And Hearts have a free kick. And any opportunity they get to put the ball into the Rangers box is a good opportunity for them right now.
Yeah, I thought they were going to try and play that quick there. Same thought as you. Take your time, get a ball in the box, see if you can get someone on the end of it, cause problems. Especially with Snodgrass's delivery. Although now I've said that, it's going to be a shocker, isn't it?
That's normally what happens. Robert Snodgrass waits. It's just a yard or so away from that main stand side touchline. 65th minute of the game. Rangers as it stands comfortable. Snodgrass with it. It's very deep. It's way too deep. And it was behind for the goal kick. And the only person with shoulders slumped more than Robert Snodgrass is James McFadden to my right.
It's not like him, is it? I'm confident with a player like Snodgrass, with his ability, that I can say the delivery's going to be excellent, but he's let me down there.
Good to see him back in Scottish football, has to be said. Albeit he's in a fabulous career down south, former Scotland international.
It is, but it'd have been much better for me to see him in the Motherwell top. There was talks that he could potentially go into Motherwell.
Well, Rangers have got a free kick deep inside their own half, and the card's coming out here as well for Humphreys. Yellow, though. Something went on there. The ball had been released, and then there was the howls from the Rangers supporters. And now the Hearts fans are having a go at Stephen McLean, the referee who sent off Cammy Devlin in the first half.
I think the Rangers players and fans are unhappy because he's pulled it back. Rangers have beaten the press. Humphreys does go late, leaves a bit on Sands, but they'd beaten the press and they wanted to continue with the attack. Stephen McLean brought it back, and that's why you can see Tavernier having a go as well. They were on the attack. It could have waited and pulled them up after the attack had gone.
Malik Tillman for Rangers over on the left-hand side in the Hearts half. Finds Kent. Good challenge again by Michael Smith. He's actually had a very good afternoon. The veteran, as it comes out to the left-hand side for Barisic. Rolls it to Tillman. Tillman up against Haring. Out to the touchline for Barisic and infield for Kent. Kent squeezed to Tavernier. He's got Matondo on the near side. Plays it to the edge of the box for Morelos instead. Haring gets there ahead of Lundstrom. And now it's with George Grant. Will try to knock it out to this near side. He can't find Ginelli, and it goes out for a Rangers throw-in. Down below us here, 66.5 minutes played. 10-man Hearts, 0 Rangers 2.
It's a wasted opportunity for Hearts. Grant driving through the midfield. Ginelli pulled wide, which had drawn Goldson towards him. He's looking for that ball played inside Goldson so that he can then, make it a race, which he would fancy Ginelli to win. And he tries to clip it to him, hits it behind him, out for a throw-in. It's something that Hearts have to do better when they win the ball back, because they've worked so hard to get it back. When they land on it, the pass has to be better.
It's out for a throw-in on this near side for Hearts, to be taken by Halliday, level with the edge of the centre circle inside his own half on the Wheatfield stand side down below us here. And he's taking it short for Grant, back with Halliday. Useful ball actually from Halliday to the right of the circle for Smith, but Kent's picked it off him. Ryan Kent driving down the left now. Smith looking to react. Kent gets away from him, brought down. Free kick Rangers at the left angle of the Hearts box.
That's excellent from Ryan Kent, it really is, because the pass from Halliday's a really good pass. Just in behind Kent for Smith to run onto, but he doesn't give up Kent, he wins it back, and then that's what Rangers fans want to see Ryan Kent do, driving forward, making defenders make decisions. He steps to go outside, drags inside, and Smith has no option but to bring him down. But it's tremendous play from Ryan Kent.
We're into the final quarter of the game here in Gorgie as the rain begins to tumble down. Tavernier over the free kick, Barisic there too. It's over on the left-hand side, so Tavernier with the right to bend it in on top, or Barisic to curl it out the way. Looks as though Tavernier's leaving the scene. Barisic is the only candidate now. Two-man Hearts wall. Snodgrass and Ginelli. There's a group of players round about the penalty spot, and it comes from Barisic. Brilliant ball, Morelos! So the flag's gone up anyway. Gordon saved point blank from Morelos. Fabulous goalkeeping. It won't go down as a save though, because the offside flag did go up. 68.5 played. Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
Yeah, Kerry Gordon didn't know the flag was up. He still has to make the save, although you're probably looking at striker saying you have to score from that position. But Kerry Gordon reads it, makes himself big. The flag goes up. much to the relief, even though it didn't go in. But yeah, it's a dangerous ball, and I know he's offside and he's probably made the run too early, but he's still in space. There's 3 Rangers players there lining up to head that ball in.
Looked like a push by James Sands there. The referee's happy with it though. Sands heads it out for a Hearts throw-in as Michael Smith tries the ball with his maroon shirt midway inside the Rangers half on the main stand side. Ball back to Haring. Hearts unusually attacking the school end of Tynecastle in the second half and switch sides before the game. Long ball, Cochrane to Halliday, who nods it back the way to Snodgrass. His first time playing in Scottish football since 2008 for Robert Snodgrass, as Haring squares the ball out to the right hand side for Smith. Now it's with Humphreys, he rolls it back to Haring. Haring's under pressure though, Tillman's taking it off him. Morelos desperately trying to stay onside. Tillman rolling it out wide right to Morelos. Hearts get numbers back. Morelos in the box, drives it across the face of goal. He's off target and it goes behind for the goal kick on the reverse side of the goal. As we approach 70 minutes, 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
It's a let off for Peter Haring. He's got a chance to play a simple ball to Robert Snodgrass out to the left hand side. He tries to drag it back and go back to the right where it's just come from. Tillman reads it, wins the ball back. When Morelos is in that position, it's going to be something special to beat Craig Gordon from there, particularly from Alfredo Morelos. He's really wide, the angle's not great. He should be looking for a cross there. Tillman's getting in at the back post. He opts for the shot, and maybe that's because we spoke about when Cholak went off, the fact that he's competitive in scoring goals, but you still have to do things right. He has to pick the cross out there, and it's a poor effort, really, well wide, but again to the relief for Peter Haring.
Rangers heading for a 3rd away win of the season across all competition. Beat PSV, huge result for them. The Champions League playoff, the decisive leg of that tie. And their other win was at Livingston in the opening day of the league season, and they made hard work of that one, had to come from behind to win that match. As John Lundstrom picks up, and it's a foul on Stephen Davis, left of the centre circle just inside their own half, and it's absolutely chucking it down now here in Edinburgh.
Glad we're not on that other side now, Liam, aren't we? We're a bit jealous when the sun was out, but now the rain's down, at least we're dry.
Yeah,
here.
they've got wee bits of perspex attacked to the desks over there, and I can assure you that they do absolutely nothing to protect you or your equipment, perhaps more importantly. As Goldson picks up and rolls it back to Alan McGregor, who has it inside his own box. It's a bit of a non-event now, the game. There's not much going on. There was that chance for Morelos there. He was offside anyway. As Cochrane heads it away, it's Davis, but Stephen McLean has blown the whistle again. It's going to be a free kick for Hearts for Alex Cochrane. 72nd minute, and 2-0 Rangers. Still a chance here for Hearts if they can get a goal to perhaps cause a bit of panic amongst the Rangers players, but right now it's a little bit like a training exercise down there. Long ball for Ginnelly, he's going to get onto it, left hand side of the box, under pressure from Goldson. Has he got a corner? Yes, he has, says the referee. Goldson's claiming goal kick. It is a Hearts corner though, and perhaps not done yet, and Snodgrass is over here to take it. He needs on point delivery though. Snodgrass waits. There's movement in the penalty area for him. Haring's there, Halliday in from Snodgrass, taken away by Morelos from the head of Haring. It's well defended by the Colombian. Now it's with Smith for Hearts. Long looping ball with the right foot, controlled in the chest by Snodgrass. Rolls it infield, he's going to get it back here, moves it towards goal, blocked by Davis. Now it's Snodgrass, good play from him. Down he goes, no free kick. Hearts still have it though with Ginnelly. Ginnelly thought about the cross with the right foot, decides to have another nibble at Matondo, gets away from him. Still he has it, Ginnelly shoots! It's not that far away either. Angled for the top right corner. Alan McGregor's apoplectic at his defenders there. He's shouting at each and every one of them. 73 minutes played, 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 2. But if Ginnelly's on target there, that could have been 2-1, and Rangers perhaps thrust back into a game.
Yeah, he does really well, Ginnelly, although I can see Alan McGregor's point. You know, he takes touch. He's always wanting to come inside. He's always wanting to get his shot away. And initially I'm thinking Matondo's done okay, he's still with him, but he manages to get clear and get his shot away, and that just shows you what Al McGregor brings. Yes, he's a fantastic goalkeeper, he produces unbelievable saves, but he's unhappy with the tempo that Rangers are playing in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. He wants them to do it quicker, he wants them to get forward, he wants them to stop shots. Sometimes you look at goalkeepers and they make the saves for the cameras and they want to be busy. Al McGregor does not want to make any saves because he knows how dangerous a lead the 2-0 is, and he's unhappy with the standard of the last 5 minutes. I have to say Rangers have really controlled this second half, but he just wants it to be done a little bit quicker and continue to do the right things.
Here's Kent getting it from Tillman, back to Tillman in the box. He's still on it, the byline, pulls it back, but there's nobody there. It wasn't the best ball, it needed to be low. He went high and it goes out of play off a Hart's head for a throw-in on the opposite side for James Tavernier, who takes quickly. Good build-up play by Rangers again, and Malik Tillman heavily involved. He hit the byline, having evaded Lewis Nielsen, but he didn't have the cross. He's on it now. As Tillman, central area, squares it to Tavernier. Tavernier on the right foot at the moment, attacking. Snodgrass away from him, it's a delicate chip ball. Kent's in the back post, heads it across. Tillman couldn't force it home, and Halliday clears. This game's not done as yet. 75th minute, Hearts 0, Rangers 2.
It's a terrific ball from James Tavernier. Fakes to come inside, just steps to the right. Robert Snodgrass clips it to the back post, and Craig Gordon saves that. Ryan Kent's got a lot of time to pick his header up. Gordon spreads himself.
He's got something on that as it came back across.
I think he has, with his left hand.
Tavernier, Morelos, chance, goal! Morelos! And off he goes in celebration, onto his knees in front of the main stand. It broke him kindly, and he has lashed it past Craig Gordon, and that's going to make Alfredo Morelos feel a heck of a lot better about things now as he beats the badge on his chest in celebration. 75.5 on the clock, 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 3, Morelos is back.
He sure is, no mistake that time. Ball just drops to him on the right hand side, he just fires it beyond Craig Gordon at the near post. Craig Gordon, no chance. Nice finish from Morelos, running over to antagonise the Hearts fans as well, and he needed that goal, he really did. And Rangers needed it to put the game to bed. I didn't think they were under any great trouble, but you just felt that they needed to get that goal to kill the game off, and that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, it's a big moment for Alfredo Morelos. It's just his second goal of the season. The other one came against Kilmarnock, I think it was. Yeah, Kilmarnock. He came off the bench that day as well. But he's got Rangers third, and that's the game now. That's the game. That's the winning goal. As Snodgrass moves it forward to Humphreys. Any thoughts of a Hearts comeback have surely been extinguished by Morelos. As Craig Gordon picks up in the 6-yard box and clears. It's off the head of Davis, picked up by Haring. Had it nicked off him by Tillman, and now it's with Lundstrom. Bit of keepy uppy from John Lundstrom, and he's found Tillman. Lundstrom again.
Sorry, Liam, that's brilliant for Lundstrom. You can see that Haring's going to fly into the challenge, just flips it up over him.
Chance for Rangers again here. Tillman, left-hand side of the Hearts box, looking for an option in blue and white. Rolls it back to Lundstrom. Here's Barisic to Lundstrom. Now Morelos, he's outside the box, looks to play it out to the right of the area for Davis. Overlap from Tavernier. Davis finds Matondo. Might break back to Davis, not quite. Sliding in was George Grant as Hearts get it clear. But Tavernier's going to pick it up again. Finds Goldson, who finds Lundstrom. 13 to play. Rangers leading by 3-0 at Tynecastle. Here's Barisic, he fancies a go. But it was an effort more befitting of Murrayfield across the railway from here as it sails high over the bar, and it stays 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 3.
I think the third goal, Liam, you were speaking about, you know, the Hearts comeback. The Hearts never looked likely that they were going to come back. It wasn't, you were saying Hearts have got loads of pressure, it's only a matter of time before they get that goal and make a comeback. It was a dangerous scoreline for Rangers at the 2-0. The way they were, you know, a bit slower in their play and knocking the ball about, it makes it more dangerous. But the third goal ends all that. It ends all hope for Hearts, and that's all it was, slight hope that they could manage to get back into the game.
That's a great result for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, that's for sure. We'll put Rangers top of the table for a few hours at least. Celtic taking on Motherwell. Will have all the build-up to the games and the post-match reaction from here as well. A busy afternoon as Rangers make another change. Matondo's going to be replaced, I think, by Sakala. The 3 o'clock kick-off, Celtic, Motherwell, Aberdeen, Kilmarnock, the return to Pittodrie of Derek McInnes there. Dundee United, St Johnstone, Ross County, Hibernian, St Mirren, Livingston. Will be commentary of the games at Celtic Park and online of Dundee United, St Johnstone. Tuesday's Liverpool Rangers in the Champions League. Wednesday, Leipzig against Celtic. And on Thursday, back here at Tynecastle for Heart of Midlothian against Fiorentina. Championship action, Cali Thistle, Partick Thistle on Friday night on the BBC Scotland television channel. Highlights of all today's 6 Premiership matches on Sports Scene this evening as well. Here's Connor Goldson for Rangers. Long ball for Morelos. It just went under his sole there though and was behind for a goal kick. Thumbs up though for Goldson from Morelos with 11 minutes of the 90 to play and Rangers leading by 3-0.
It was a great pass from Goldson. I think Morelos potentially could have been offside, but it just goes under his foot. You can understand as well with the conditions, the pitch must be absolutely soaking. But that is the right pass. Get your head up, play it straight into your striker. He just doesn't get it under control. Potentially offside anyway.
It must be remembered as well that Rangers were 2-0 up before the red card. In a good position, even before Cammy Devlin deservedly received his marching orders in that first half. But it just made the task of climbing back into this all the more difficult for the home side.
Rangers have been very comfortable. I know that Hearts started well, they looked like they could create opportunities, but they never really created too much. Rangers really direct, lots of speed in their attack in the first half. Second half they've just controlled it, they've knocked the ball about, waited, tried to be patient, waited for that opportunity, and they've got the rewards. It's been a really comfortable afternoon for Rangers in the end.
Yeah, Alan McGregor's not had much to do really save-wise, has he? As Smith picks up right-hand side of the Rangers box. His cross is cut out by combination of Kent and Barisic, and out for a Hearts throw-in level with the penalty spot over on the far side. That third goal, incidentally, was enough for plenty Hearts fans to decide to leave the stadium. It's not been their afternoon. You have to regroup quickly for Thursday against La Viola and Fiorentina, one of the big names European football. Of course, Rangers have played them in a couple of big European ties. Final indeed at one point. Sakala, it's away from Halliday. He's beat them in the UEFA Cup semi-final in 2008 as well. But Sakala rolls it to his right, Morelos. Halliday's still down. Morelos drives it across the 18-yard line, blocked by Hanning before it got to Tillman. And Michael Smith clears with the right foot. Only as far as Barisic. Rangers fancy more. 81 left. They've still got 9 plus injury time. They lead 3-0. Lundstrom with the square ball to Tavernier. The edge of the penalty area. Pokes it to Morelos. Now Sakala on the turn. Left-footed. Shot deflected. Davis is in. Flags up as it's blocked. Not once but twice by Craig Gordon. And it stays 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 3.
What a save it is. I know he doesn't know it's offside again. I'm going to say it. Sounding like I'm repeating myself. That's an incredible save. Craig Gordon. Stephen Davis finds himself in space. It's good play from Rangers, good turn from Sakala, and when it drops to Davis, Craig Gordon's out to smother it, saves it twice, but offside, so it doesn't go down as another great save.
Yeah, but I mean, we're here in October 2022, and you're watching Alan McGregor and Craig Gordon keep their respective goal in the top level of Scottish football.
Yeah, it's an incredible testament to the character, professionalism of both players. You know, Alan McGregor, I think he had a big decision to make in the summer about potentially retiring. He's obviously decided to continue. He's had to wait for his opportunity, but he's shown, you know, not today in terms of performance because he's barely had a save to make, but that demand, that fire, that hunger's still there for him. And Craig Gordon has been absolutely sensational for club and country. And long may that continue. We are running out of time for both of them, but hopefully it's another few years.
Barisic with the cross, headed away by Cochrane. Here's Tavernier. Out to Sakala, right-hand side of the Hearts box, rolls it in, looking for Morelos. Rangers sniffing around for a fourth. Tillman's effort blocked by a sliding George Grant, who eventually puts it behind for another Rangers corner over on that left-hand side. 83 played, 3-0 Rangers.
Yeah, it's damage limitation now for Hearts. You know, I think the changes were made. Janelle to come on and try and provide something going forward, but when that third goal goes in, it's now about getting your blocks, making saves, making it very difficult and keeping the score down.
Out swinging corner coming up from Barisic. Left-footed into the box. Tillman rose as it breaks off Nielsen, and fortunately for him, It bounces back to his goalkeeper, and Gordon bowls it out to Humphreys on this near side. Heading towards the climax of this game. And once again, we were talking about it pre-match. On paper, it's a highly challenging fixture for Rangers. But it's going to be another game. It's going to be 2 Hearts wins in 20 against Rangers. So the facts don't actually back up the theory that this is a match that Rangers struggle in, or could struggle in.
Yeah, but sometimes you look at result and forget about performance and how hard they've had to work, you know, to get their victory. Certainly today, they've looked really good, Rangers, you have to say that. But you still think if Hearts are the 11 men, until that third goal goes in, then they're always in the game. But Rangers have made a habit of coming here and getting results, and I think sometimes you just look at that result and listen, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But still, you still don't get an easy game here at Tynecastle, regardless of whether you win or not.
We've got to remember, Hearts were very good actually for the first half of this game, probably the first half hour in particular. The red card obviously knocked the stuffing out of them, the 2 Rangers goals equally, so things went against them. And the brainstorm that went through Cammy Devlin's head as he went in on Rabbi Matondo in the first half, as Lundstrom's pass forward goes straight to Craig Gordon, and all that's gone against Hearts this afternoon. And there will be a few teams in the Premiership who will be eyeing up third place this afternoon. We've got full coverage to come of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Indeed, the Premiership not the only divisions in action. Clearly the Championship Leagues 1 and 2 as well, and Sportsound Open All Mics returning this weekend with a Celtic Motherwell also available, as Josh Ginnelly comes forward to the edge of the box and thumps a shot well over the crossbar, and it stays Hearts 0, Rangers 3.
Yeah, it'd have to be something incredible to test Alan McGregor, never mind beat him from there. It's bouncing, he's not really set to hit it, but he doesn't really have any other option. Can he maybe, you know, try and take Sands on into the box? I'm not so sure he has to take that strike on, but same token, he doesn't have too many great options round about him.
Yeah, John McLaughlin started the season as first pick. He's now back, he's on the bench. You kind of feel Alan McGregor will play at Anfield on Tuesday. Rangers come forward, Kent towards the edge of the box, he's looking at the referees he's brought down. Ball was cleanly won though, as Grant picks up for Hearts on the far side, and he's claiming he's fouled by Lundstrom, but it's gone out for a Rangers throw-in, which Lundstrom takes himself. 86 played, 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 3. Yeah, Alan McGregor starts against Liverpool, doesn't he?
Alan McGregor starts from now on in for me, as long as he's fit. Yeah, you can. He's still a top-class goalkeeper, and he's not one. I know that you maybe look at it and say, could he come in for emergencies? John McLaughlin has been number 1, but sometimes it's about just waiting for your opportunity, and Alan McGregor's had to do that while Sean McLaughlin's been injured. But for me, I would always pick Alan McGregor as a number 1, as long as he's able to complete the training, as long as his body's still in good shape. He's still a top-class goalkeeper.
He'll be 41 soon. Craig Gordon, the other end, turns 40 on Hogmanay. Here's Rangers with Sands, 3-0 up. It's Ryan Kent. He'll pass it back to Lundstrom. Everyone bar Alan McGregor in the Hearts half here. Connor Goldson short to Davis, plays it back to Tavernier, the way to check his run and move back the way to get onto it. And now it's at the feet of Sands, who plays it to the left of the centre circle for Lundstrom. Forward to Goldson, back to John Lundstrom, and now with Davis. He was in action for Northern Ireland. He just doesn't want to give anything up to Stephen Davis, clocking up more caps during that Nations League break.
He's another one that falls into the category. You know, we're speaking about Craig Gordon and Alan McGregor and the levels that they play at now. I know it's slightly different in that Stephen Davis doesn't play every single game, but when he plays, he doesn't look as if he's lost any sharpness, certainly not his intelligence, his ability to control a game, even get forward. He's still got that, he's still got the legs, he's still got the energy. Fantastic achievement for him to continue to be playing international football, and still when he plays for Rangers to put in the level of performance that he does. It's incredible.
140 caps now as Morelos finds Sakala. Cross! Morelos fires it first time, but he fires it wide of that right-hand post, and it ends up in the Gorgie stand. 88 played, Hearts 0, Rangers 3.
That's a big chance. Really well worked. And Morelos says Sakala, first time cross in. And he's just beyond that front post where he needs to get a different angle on the finish. He opens up his left foot, potentially comes off his heel and goes straight. He's trying to just put that towards goal and he just doesn't get it right. Maybe could go over his right and try and sweep that into the far post. But I think if he opens his run a bit, comes inside that near post, then he's got a more comfortable finish.
2 minutes being added on in injury time apparently at the end of the second half. So we've got about 3 minutes left as we move in towards the final minute of the 90. Colak with a double in the first half, added to by Morelos in the second. And this is a fine afternoon for Rangers, it has to be said. And it tees up nicely their trip to Anfield on Tuesday as they look for not just their first points of this season's Champions League, but their first goal of this season's Champions League group campaign. Doesn't get too much more difficult. That's ball back there by Goldson to Sands. Goldson will inside foot it to Barisic over on the left. Barisic forward for Kent, back to Borna Barisic. And now Goldson finds the Croatian again. But it's barely a game out there, it's just Rangers just knocking the ball about amongst themselves until the referee decides it's time up.
Yeah, the Hearts have put a lot into the game, particularly when they've been 10 men as Rangers go to try and find that 4.
Sakala, Craig Gordon comes to meet him though, and we'll get there before Sakala as we tick into the injury time, which is about to be confirmed. Indeed, 2 minutes is confirmed, and we're into the first of those now. As Goldson finds Tillman. Morelos ahead of him, out wide left for Kent. Barisic goes in the overlap. Kent's in the box here. He's back onto the right foot, he shoots for goal! What a goal it is! Ryan Kent scores! Arms outstretched, broad smile. It's been much, much better for Kent today. And that's a lovely goal just to round things off for the visitors. Lashing it past Gordon into the right corner of the net after he brought it back onto the right foot. And it is 10-man Hearts 0, Rangers 4. What a scoreline it is.
Yeah, what a goal that was by Ryan Kent. Does really well. He's just inside the corner of the box, shapes to go on the left, fakes the shot, chops back onto his right, and he actually takes his touch backwards. So he's having to run back, wrap his foot round it, and he just whips it into the far corner. Craig Gordon, no chance. Tremendous goal from Ryan Kent. As you say, it rounds off a good performance from Rangers, but it rounds off a good day for Ryan Kent, getting that assist early and then finishing it up with a fantastic goal.
Yeah, it's a really good finish by Kent. It's the kind of afternoon he's been wanting for quite a long time. It's his first goal since March when he scored against Red Star in Belgrade. That was a big goal at the time. As he grabs his first of the season. Assist for Colak as well in the first half. As Hearts come forward with Ginnelly, but it's been a tough afternoon for them. Difficult one to stomach for the supporters, many of whom have long since left. As Cochrane picks up and moves it forward into the Rangers half for Snodgrass. He goes back to Cochrane, who finds Nielsen. It'll be quite, I may say, tough mentally for Hearts to come back for the game against Fiorentina, but they were decent in the first half until the roof caved in. Albeit Colak scored early after a bright start by the hosts, heading in off the post from Ryan Kent's cross. Hearts' reaction was excellent, to be fair. Humphreys looked a serious threat, albeit Arfield probably should have made it 2-0 on 20 minutes. It was 2-0 on 30. Colak with a fine finish after good build-up play by Lundstrom and Matondo. And then 5 minutes from half-time, Hearts' hopes of clambering back into this were ended by the red card shown to Cammy Devlin as he went in on Matondo on the far side. It was a correct decision by the referee, Stephen McLean. And you knew it was going to be tough, albeit Andy Halliday could have reduced the arrears early in the second half with a header, which he put well wide. Ginnelly also shot wide with 17 to play. They were still in the game at that point. But just a few minutes later, Alfredo Morelos, off the bench, scored the goal he's been craving for a while now. And Ryan Kent's been equally craving one, and he got one in second half stoppage time. As he chats with Stephen Humphreys down there, they're both from Oldham. The two of them, it's their hometown. They know each other. And he had a fine afternoon, did Kent. Much more like what the Rangers supporters want to see from him, what his manager wants to see from him. And he goes back to his former club on Tuesday on Champions League business when Rangers go to Anfield to take on Liverpool, in desperate need of something to happen in that group. Hearts will welcome Serie A side Fiorentina to Tynecastle in the Europa Conference League. A win would put them top, but they're going to have to lick their wounds after this one, because it's ended up being a bit of a home thrashing for them, albeit there were mitigating circumstances. It finished 10-man Heart and Midlothian 0, Rangers 4.
On digital